can you see me? Can you let me know what's happening, please? Oh. Well, I am running around like a blue arse fly trying to sort this out. If anything explodes behind me, it's not my fault. I blame Jeff. Chat on, chat on. I cannot see anything at the moment. Casper, how you doing, mate? Seeing me loud and clear. I do apologise. What the hell is going on? Create a dashboard. Saf, greetings and salutations to you as well. I have tried to do blue and gold in the background, but the gold isn't looking too well, unfortunately. And left it all last minute because I'm a fucking idiot, obviously. But I'll make sure it's better for the next time. Steve, yes, the Punisher is out, so to speak. I'm trying to look all enigmatic, dark and enigmatic, and it's not happening. Why hasn't Botrix joined the channel? We're definitely signed in, and it's at least picking up some of the Twitch stuff, so why isn't it happening? Why, Delilah? Botrix has now correctly joined the channel. Brilliant. Hi, Mandy, how you doing? How's things? Jeez. And I've not long got out the shower as well because I'm too bloody hot. And the heating's on and the window's open. And I've got lights all over me, which is not good, is it? And I'm waiting for an email about a YouTube video that I put up earlier. Hopefully it'll be cleared ASAP. So how are we doing? Are we alright? Considering I'm off next week and I've got loads of time and I've done nothing all day, I have left it to the last minute to do everything. I didn't charge up that light in the background, so I've had to now plug it in so it's completely plugged in at the same time, and it shouldn't be. I don't even know how long the moon is going to last. In fact, there we go, I'll move, I'll get rid of the moon, to be honest with you. How's that, Saf? Bit of blue and gold in the background. Bit of Cape Town colour for you. It's the best I can do, unfortunately. Unless, I think the other one was too light. So it didn't look yellow, it just ended up looking, I don't know, sort of off-white. What would you call it, an off-white? I can't even think what the name of the bleeding colour is. They call that everyone's houses in the UK. That yellowy, whitey, yellowy, shitey colour. Everyone has. Not marigolds, it begins with M. Your back is as straight as Nigel Owens and Johnny Wilkinson combined. Oof. Nigel Owens, is he the referee? Brilliant referee. The Real Rugby has started up this week. Absolutely amazing on Sky. There's 6 games a week and all 6 are on Sky at the same time. 1 on Thursday, there was 3 live on Friday and there was 2 live on Saturday, all at the same time. Fantastic, so you had your choice. So I watched all against All KR on Thursday, St Helens against London Broncos on Friday, and Castleford Tigers against Wigan Warriors on a Saturday. So I've been a very happy boy with that. Magnolia, that's the bastard stuff. Today, the day was 2 hours and 47 minutes longer. It was quite miserable, the weather though, lots of rain all day here. That sounds like ours yesterday, bizarrely. It was, I loved it. I went down to the beach and got some decent pictures. But today was much nicer. And I went for a little bit of a drive as well, because I needed to. Rugby league never caught on that side. It's weird that, considering the South Africa is a huge rugby nation, you would have thought that some of them would have at least tried to switch over codes, because obviously it's absolutely massive in Australia, New Zealand, the Channel Islands, the Pacific Islands, sorry, Papua New Guinea, Tonga, Samoa, and all that, and massive in the European Northern Hemisphere now. Because we had the Toronto Wolfpack, didn't we? Got London Broncos, we've got Catalan Dragons, we had Toulouse Olympique last year. So there's sides from not just the north of England who are getting involved, thankfully. Unfortunately, the North Wales Crusaders are no longer were they ever in the Super League? I think they were, weren't they, for a while, under whatever name they were, occasionally playing at Wrexham. Give you a town or city and I'll hit you with what it's gained. Oh, there you go. Anybody? Think of a town or city. Well, I'm going to have to go with Enschede in the Netherlands, where I lived. Enschede. It shouldn't be too far away from what you've got, because it's not that far away really, is it? You can safely say there's no magnolia in your home. Congratulations. This house, would have been a rented house, is magnolia from top to bottom, unfortunately. And I'd rather it wasn't, but to be honest, it does alright for throwing light on it. The lights don't look too bad. I mean, obviously if it was a different coloured, if it was a darker background, it'd look bloody awful, but there we go. And with magnolia, you can't go wrong, because if it is knackered or someone moves in, it's easily painted over. Easily paint overable. Is that the phrase? Just checking my email. Still waiting for a pissing email off them pissing people. Have you noticed as well with the thumbnails and everything, I've been trying to go down the Smiths route. So I had to get Barbara Windsor with the Barbara-ism Begins At Home. I had to. I had no choice. Which means that tomorrow I'm going to have to find another one for Wednesday's stream. Hopefully we'll get there. If I survive that long. I've had 2 lions though, 2 proper lions. Epic lions. With headphones on, listening to music, just ignoring the world. Fantastic, wonderful, much needed. Although I wanted to go on a drive during the day and I had no energy at all. That is going to have to change for tomorrow, because I need to get back out. 2 hours and 25 in Enschede. Thank you very much, Casper. The man, the myth, the legend. Day length up to 10 hours and 7 minutes there. Oof. That sounds more like a proper day, doesn't it? Ali, how you doing? How's things? What about you? How's it over in the Emerald Isle? If it's the Smiths, you won't get the reference anyway. You absolute heathen. Fantastic, the Smiths, and it's something that me and my daughter can share between us now. We couldn't have conversations about One Direction or whatever shit she was listening to beforehand, but we can talk about jangly guitars, can't we? Yep. Sláinte, Ali, sláinte. How is the wonderful island today? Is it raining by any chance? Well, it hasn't been too bad here today. It's been fairly dry for a change. But I had my car, last week I got my car washed. About 3 days later, because it had been raining and we've got sand everywhere, it was absolutely covered in it. So I didn't use the pictures today. Oh yeah, I did. I used the pictures today on something. Yeah, the greeting from up the north. Yeah, just a habit, that one. As soon as I think of Ireland, I think of me mates in Belfast. Slanger, yeah. How's it going? I had good mates from Dublin now. Noel used to live up. The bar that used to drink him was the Blue Light up in the mountains, he said. And he used to hate Paddy's Day. It's the fucking English coming over here drinking Guinness when all I want is a pint of harp and I've got to wait there for half an hour while they're pissing around with the Guinness. He says, if you ever go over to Dublin, don't ask for a Guinness. Have that somewhere else. Drink it when you get back to England. Just stick on the harp like the regulars do. Alright. Thought it was a bit weird, but yeah. It's the album thing, you never bought vinyl. Double Heathen. Vinyl's great. And I don't just mean in that kind of dungeon kind of way, you know. I've missed listening to vinyl. It's only been recently that I've decided to start playing it a bit more. And I've even bought a second cabinet, record holdy cabinet thing, because obviously I'm going to start buying loads more. I love it. Love it. Sounds so much better. Yeah, Casper, how do you say cheers in your language? Is it skål? Because we've got Prost in Dutch, Slangevar or Slange in actual Irish, nice one lid in Scouse. What do you say in Norfolk, Steve? Is it just cheers down there as well, or is it you've got any local kind of thing that you say? Yep, and Saf, same thing. Is that going to be the same as the Dutch? We shall find out. Yeah, the Smiths albums as well. The covers are all fantastic. One of them's got Charles Hawtrey one of the singles has got Charles Hawtrey on the front of it, which is why I quite like the fact that I can get Barbara Windsor, because there's a link then between the Carry On and the Smiths. I thought it was a nice little thing. Yakida in Welsh, yeah. Get it down, yeah. Nick Ali Casper, what's your spirit animal? I think I know mine. I think mine would be a hyena. It's a very Scouse animal. Scraggly, permanently laughing. It doesn't give a shit about anything. I mean, lions, I think they sleep for 23 hours a day, don't they? And then they wake up, they have a look around, and then they look for anything moving, and the first thing in their mind is, can I eat it? Can I fuck it? Will it kill me? And then they see either honey badgers or they see hyenas and they think, oh no, not today, I'm not messing around with them. They're a pain in the arse. So a little straggly pain in the arse that's always laughing. Scouser, gotta be. Skål, yeah. Right, Mandy never asked you, Steve, but I'm asking you, what's your spirit animal, man? What's your spirit animal? South Africa, you actually just say cheers, right? I did not know that. Honey badger energy. Honey badgers are mad. They're mad things. But honey badgers and hyenas, no one wants any part of them. In the lion might be the king of the jungle, but then it wants no part of that honey badger or that hyena. Too much of a pain in the arse. Mandy, yours is a quail. What? Don't ask. Don't tell me what to do, you're not my real mum. Why? Why that? Yep, Silverback Steve, which is like a bit like C6 Steve, only with more rhythm, more pounding bass. Do you know someone gives C6 Steve a box of Calms and now he's just called Steve? True story. Yeah. I forgot to share my link. I'm going to have to do this, aren't I? Just in case there's anybody out there that's tired of life. Let's have a look. Join me. There you go. That'll do. Join me. I know where you live. That's a bit too far, that one, isn't it? Hyenas give birth through the willy. Yes. The females have got one as well, haven't they? Well, it's not actually one, but you know, it looks like one. It dangles down like one. You love C6 Steve's album names. Do you know what? I haven't even seen any of them. I've seen him live on Jules Holland and stuff like that, but I've never actually listened to one of his albums. What are they called? Let's have a look. Let's Spotify the arse out of this. No, let's not do that. Let's do it the other way around instead. Let's Wikipedia him. Because Spotify, it's too much of a pain in the arse hiding all the stuff. Here we go. Cheap. Doghouse. I started out with nothing and I still got most of it left. I like that one. Man from Another Time. Songs for Elizabeth. You can't teach an old dog new tricks. Hubcap music. Yes. Sonic Soul Surfer. Keeping the horse between me and the ground. That is a proper one, man. Can You Cook? Love and Peace. Blues in mono, only on vinyl. I'm having that. I started out with nothing and I still got most of it left. What an album title that is. Join the Stream or Horror Sketchy. That could. Oh, actually, you can't use that as a thumbnail, can you? Me with a gun at a teddy bear's head, because YouTube gets all weird about shit like that. Well, they're not too bad over there in Ireland, in the actual island. Real island. They are hermaphrodites. Hyenas, I'm taking it, yeah. How's my exercising coming along? Thanks, Ali. Not brilliant, but it is coming along. I had a shower earlier and I found that washing myself with my left hand, which I've not been able to do for a while, is getting better. Doesn't sound like much, but it is a massive, massive movement. Just doing that. I wasn't able to do that too long ago, so I'm definitely getting there. I need to practice a bit more with the duck mouth, sort of grabbing things, playing cards and what have you. So this week I'm putting time aside to make sure that I do all of those little exercises. Try and do them all in 1 week, considering I've then got time where if I need to I can just fall asleep in the middle of the day. But it needs to be done that way, I think. But yeah, definitely coming along. I need to do a bit more gaming. And at some point I want to be able to pick a guitar up. I know it's going to be miles away, but I'd just love to be able to pick that guitar up. A maned wolf is your spirit animal. It's like a fox horse on stilts. I need to find out what that is. Yeah, it is. It's good, Ali. It is actually. It's like I say, it doesn't mean much. or it doesn't look like much to most people, but for me, I know where I've come from and how much of a difference it's made. So getting there, I could pretend to be pulling his head off or brandishing a pair of scissors. Ooh, scissors! I have scissors. Could I bring myself to brandish a pair of scissors at Horace's neck though? Considering me and him are bloods, man. We're fam. I don't know, we'll have to see. Could do something. Weren't there French farmers who walked on stilts? I think, do you know what? I've seen farmers on stilts. Definitely, and I can't think what it was. They were picking something, weren't they? Something high up, obviously. But yeah, Nick Scissorhands. That'll be me. Or Nicky Clark, one or the other. Washing with the other hand. No, it's not a euphemism. Well, it wasn't. It might be now. Excuse me while I go and have a wash with the other hand. Grapes. It might have been grapes. Well, yeah, obviously France grapes, but something really high up. I remember seeing them on stilts. In black and white. Makes sense if you can do it on stilts rather than getting up and down ladders all the time. Do what you need to do, toddle on to the next one. I've seen painters and decorators on stilts. And plasterers. Rather than having to get down all the time. I think my arse would be going doing that though. I am so bad with heights. Patting giraffes on the head. Is that another euphemism, Mandy? Guess who is here? That would be Saf on Twitch. But I'd love to see that. Getting me loads of views over there. Yeah, I remember hearing about French herders doing that. It's mad, isn't it? Kirsty has correctly joined the chat with discussion Lenovo last patch. Zegt rood de met je laatste weigering. Hello Kirsty, that's a way to jump into the chat. Am I bad with heights or frightened of falling? I don't know if it's both. I'm alright on a plane, I don't mind that. I couldn't stand on a stepladder inside a plane, but I can be on a plane. I don't know what it is. Watching Fred Dibner walking up the side of chimneys just sends me absolutely gone. Steve, you're fine with heights, but you're scared to hell of falling. I remember playing Grand Theft Auto 4, I think it was, and one of the missions is you have to jump out of a plane, which I was fine with. Playing a video game. You have to parachute onto the top of a massive building that looked like the Empire State Building. So I landed on it, and then I had to look over the edge, and as soon as I started looking over the edge, even though I'm sat on the sofa at home, my knees started going. So I don't know if it's, I don't know what it is, but that was a horrible feeling. You feel it in the pit of your stomach. It's the same kind of feeling as when you either go over a bridge quite quickly, or when you get volleyed in the clacker bag, which only us men will understand that particular pain. You worked all sorts of scaffolding and you're fine once you're off the ladder. Do you know what? I'm not sure. I think I might be alright with scaffolding because it's enclosed. I think being outside it would be the thing that scares me. I was in a cherry picker once and my arse went big time. My mate Mick Lloyd, an absolute bastard of a man. Brilliant, brilliant fella, but an absolute shitbag. He's scared of heights as well, but he was laughing that much that all his fear went. And as we were bouncing up and down and moving left and right, my knuckles were white and I was shitting it, and he was laughing. There was thunder and lightning nearby. We were the highest thing for about 300 miles. And he never even had the energy to put us back down. When he did, I couldn't even walk afterwards. My knees had turned to jelly. Mad. Yeah, the fall's not so bad. It's they come into a stop that hurts. That's what normally happens, isn't it? Don't go on a virtual roller coaster. Already have done. And that was, again, sat on the sofa on Christmas night and I had to take the headset off and give it back to my daughter. Nah, I'm not having this. And we changed it to David Attenborough's Underwater Odyssey, or whatever it's called. Just mooching around, having a quick look around. It was like being in one of Saf's streams. Speaking of which, Saf, make sure you start scheduling your streams as well. And if you do, I will happily hammer them on here. We'll make sure that people who are in get to know that you're doing them, and we'll put a link in and stuff for you. Need to start getting you some viewers. Casper, same thing. You should start doing them as well. We're going to have to try and get everyone as much attention as possible, because people deserve it, man. It's all the same community. Let's share the wealth. Playing any instrument is an achievement in itself. It is, and it's also an absolutely superb thing to do. I miss playing guitar badly. I badly miss playing guitar. I don't miss playing guitar badly. I'm quite good. Not brilliant, but quite good. Just the idea of being sat there, bored, pick a guitar up, and then just off you go. Write something. I love writing things as well, writing music. And I miss being able to do that. Unfortunately, keyboard instruments are a little bit beyond me. I just can't seem to get it to work in my head. Where do you get your music from as well, Saf, on your streams? Is that like a YouTube a YouTube library kind of thing? Never thought about putting music on a stream before. Mind you, that's because I'm chatting on mine all the time, isn't it? Yeah, definitely. If you like fish, sub to Saf's channel, because it was I enjoyed that. It was on Saturday night, wasn't it? Was it Saturday? Was it Friday? Friday. Friday. No, yeah, Friday it was. It was really good. I enjoyed it. Nice and relaxed. You're going to stream engraving on glass and metal? I will watch that. Kirsty, you were learning the piano when you were younger, but the person who was meant to be teaching you was nearly always drunk. Wasn't Les Dawson, was it? Spoiler, he wasn't actually drunk at the time. Ali, you like fish fingers? Does that count? Yeah, I'd say so. Steve, you like fishing? I bet there's some nice places to fish near you, isn't there? The Norfolk Broads nearby. I know Bob Mortimer and Paul Whitehouse were around there, weren't they, on the Broads? Looked lovely when they were fishing. Right, so for the live stream, you just played some lo-fi stuff from YouTube. Ah, right. That's what you need, a little ambient chill in the background. Yep, got to get the music sent on to Saf. Used WeTransfer to send it to me, and I've used it in some of my videos, which is fantastic. I enjoy that. I've had to use a bit of New Order in my last one because I'm trying something else as well. You go beach fishing. Oof. Now you are talking. again, some lovely beaches there, so it must be some good stuff. Is that just near you, or do you go out anywhere? Do you have to disappear to different parts of the country to do it? Soon your marine aquarium will be stocked and you can choose your supper. Oof. Yeah, so Saf, your name is your channel as well, isn't it? Kirsty, you were told by some guitarists that you'd be perfect for bass. There's a lot of female bassists. I mean, a lot of female bassists. And they seem to work quite well. I even wrote a song called Female Bassist when I was in my early 20s. Just because there was that many female bass players in indie bands. Plus, bass is quite a cool instrument, like you say, Ali, it is. It's, I don't know, there's something about the bass. Low slung. You don't have to impress anyone, you just stand at the back if you need to. And provide the foundation on which everything else rests. The beaches are great, but the fishing's shite. You go to Suffolk a couple of times a year. Again, not too far away from you though, isn't it? And I suppose you've got the south coast. Won't be that far away either. A couple of hours drive, maybe 3 hours drive or something. Can't say that's bassist. Yes. Bassism. We can't have bassism. Anyway, I'm a guitarist. We don't pick on bassists. We pick on drummers. As the old joke used to go, what's the difference between a drummer and a drum machine? You only have to punch the information into a drum machine once. Every musician's got drummer jokes. Bassists are cool though. Plus, how can you have people like Chris Squire and Tony Levin and have a go at them? You can't. They're fantastic. Yep, Steve, do you go out on a boat or is it just actually on the beach? Dad joke. Oh, Mr. Dad joke alerted me. Yeah, stop it. There you go. There's Saf's channel, Mandy. No, you are literally seasick, Steve. Terrible out in the water. How do you know when a drummer's at your front door? They're knocking speeds up. Is right, Thomas. Is right. Yeah. I like drummers though. It's, they're a bit like a goalkeeper in a football team. If you ever speak to anyone involved in football, they always tell you goalkeepers are a bit mad. Drummers are as well. They're a little bit weird, but in a good way. Ugh. Oh, dearie me. I've got this on here for muting the mic and I didn't use it at all, like a fucking dickhead that I am. Oh well. Yes, channel manager Mandy, keeping you on your toes. She's a good one, is our Mandy, for doing that, for supporting everyone. How do you know when the guitarist is at the door, comes in at the wrong time and has the wrong key? Oh, heavy that, man. I'm a guitarist. I'm a plank spanker myself. Well, I would be. You find while the boat is moving forward, as soon as it stops and starts going side to side, you are done. Yeah. It's weird being on boats. Very weird. We used to get the boat to and from the Netherlands a couple of times a year. During the summer, it wasn't too bad, but the winter, jeez. Cross that North Sea overnight, 11-hour crossing, horrific. Even with the stabilisers out, the whole ship was doing that. Absolutely awful. Your uncle and cousin fish a lot, and your uncle went ice fishing in Greenland and caught a redfish on 600 metres of water. Imagine having to pull that up. Oof. That must be mad, that ice fishing. But really good. Saf, you're a bassist, right? So we've got guitar, bass, and we've got a keyboard player. We can start a band soon. Ali, you can't eat before you travel in case you puke on the bus. Horrible, that. I'm not feeling comfortable. I haven't had anything like that yet myself. Yet. One sec. Jeff, stop pushing buttons, you blue-skinned bastard, you. Mandy, you were a singer in a covers band. There you go, Kirsty, there's your answer. Even in a car, if you're travelling, it can happen. You have to try to sleep. I find being in a car helps me sleep anyway, which is awful because it's usually me driving. We can be a Rush tribute band. I used to play a lot of Rush when I was sort of learning guitar, learning not to be a lead guitarist. Used to try and do a lot of Alex Lifeson solo stuff because it's a bit of a stretch at times, but good to learn. Yeah, I don't mind that. A lot of Greenland Street View on Google is from an ATV or a boat. Obviously, you're not really going to go around in a car, are you? You would struggle. Mandy for vocals. Blowing your nose. Yes, Mandy, I was. Trying to get me sneezes out. Steve will be on the door. Your name's not there and you're not coming in. No Angela Rayner's on. No Angela Rayner's. Yep, Casper on the keys. Try doing the 5-fret stretches on bass. Yes, Geddy Lee is a pain in the arse, isn't he? If you try to follow what he's doing. Very hugely influenced by Chris Squire from Yes, of course. My favourite drummer of all time. Sorry, favourite bass player of all time. I didn't get to see him live and I'm absolutely gutted. I saw Anderson, Bruford, Wakeman and Howe without him, which is basically Yes without Chris Squire. And I was gutted, but Tony Levin was playing bass that night. So I got to see my second favourite bassist. And then a couple of years later, I saw Peter Gabriel live and Tony Levin was the bass player again. So I got to see him twice. JV said to listen to 2212 on Spotify, but he didn't like them. What Rush album would you recommend? Good question. 2212 is a bit of a, I don't know, it's a bit of a heavy one to get into straight away. Let's have a look. Oh, my phone started playing up. You're really bad at remembering lyrics. Not good when you're a singer, Mandy. Not good at all. Right. Rush albums. A Farewell to Kings is probably one that I'd try and recommend. Although people would say probably listen to Moving Pictures. Yeah, Moving Pictures, that's a bit more, a little bit more modern, a little bit less proggy and a bit more sort of radio friendly. So yeah, Moving Pictures. Grace Under Pressure. But yeah, A Farewell to Kings is the one I think I'd go for. I would anyway. It's got quite a bit of roads in Newark, the capital. They've got close to 20,000 peoples. They even have a mall now. Evening Shabbos, yes. How are you doing, Adam? How's things, mate? Ozzy used to mumble through whole songs while doing live shows. No one's going to notice with him now, aren't they? Make him up. You've done that before. Many a singer will have done that. Many a singer when they're absolutely off their head will have done that. I suppose during the 70s and 80s there'd have been lots of that. But then the audience would have been off their heads as well, so no one would have noticed. And while we've got Adam in, don't forget, Charcoal Coffee Company. Fantastic coffee if you're in the UK. The link is in the description below. You'd love to go there, but it's really expensive. It's everywhere that though, isn't it, Casper? No matter where you go to, it's going to cost you a bleeding fortune. Even some thought out lyrics still make no sense. Absolutely right. Adam, I do my lives at the moment on a Sunday and Wednesday, 8 o'clock. I try to keep them as regular as possible to make sure that I'm out of the way of people as well. Yeah, Kev hasn't really done many, has he? Dan is very, very random. I suppose with Dan, he's trying to fit in the whole of Europe, loads of the UK, and people here, there and everywhere. With me, I'm mainly just UK and Western Europe so far, and we have got South Africa in now. What did we say the other day? Yeah, Dan was in as well, so we had quite a spread of hours in that particular day. You find if you look like you are singing the right words, the audience think they're wrong. If you do it with enough conviction, yep, absolutely. I read in a Pink Floyd book the band played Dark Side of the Moon in its entirety a year before the album was released and nobody noticed. That would not surprise me in the slightest. People were just slightly stoned thinking, I can't remember this one. Yeah, modern UK prog. Porcupine Tree is absolutely the pinnacle. One of the few, I would say, modern UK prog bands that you could just pick up and drop in the 70s and they wouldn't feel out of place. I think they're good enough to be able to just find their way in that particular era. Some fantastic musicians, great music. I do love me a bit of prog. I haven't broached that particular subject with my daughter yet. I'm letting her catch up with likes of the Smiths and Stone Roses and Oasis and things. Let her get past that. Then we'll start moving on to a bit more complicated stuff and see how she gets on with it. You were listening to them when you were doing Voyage 34. They have done some fantastic stuff, haven't they? And heavily involved with other bands as well. I do like music that makes me listen to it. Not just safe, proper. We are going to make sure that you have a proper sit down and think about what we're doing. I don't know the origin story, no. It's one of those bands that have been just sort of around, if you know what I mean. Always recommended on Spotify and things like that, and talked about when I've been talking to people online about my kind of music. My daughter's not familiar with Joy Division as yet. I think she knows a bit of New Order, but at the moment it's lots of lots of 90s, indie, and then Arctic Monkeys, things like that. I'm trying to get it into Echo and the Bunnymen, Teardrop Explodes, Shaq and the Pale Fountains, lots of Liverpool bands. You saw Hawkwind once, Pretty Light Show is all about All You Remember. Was that with or without Lemmy on bass? Because Lemmy was in Hawkwind for a while. Pre-Motorhead, obviously. So he's not always just been some heavy metal lunatic, although probably in a band like that he was still probably mainlining Jack and Coke and whatever. Steve created a fake band called Porcupine Tree and made out it was a lost band from the 70s. Well, there you go. Probably the reason why I can say it feels like it could have been picked up and dropped back in the 70s, because that's what the whole point of it. Yeah, he's doing lots of producing as well at the moment, isn't he? Remixing and things. Done lots of I think redid a lot of Yes stuff. Mandy, no, you can't remember. Fair enough. There was a good, actually, speaking of Lemmy, there was a good documentary on BBC4 about him. And if you have to ever think about what the rock and roll lifestyle is like, he was living it completely. There was very famous rock musicians that were in awe of him, just absolutely in awe. Dave Grohl was talking about him. He said you walk in and everything you expect from a rock star, he was it. Produces lots of Opeth albums. Right. That's when you know you're doing quite well, when bands love the sounds that you make so much that you're starting to get picked up as a producer or an engineer, as well as just doing your own stuff. Ian Fraser Kilmister is a legend, absolutely. Motorhead was never my kind of music, to be honest, but I like the urgency and immediacy of it. And to be able to be around at the same time as punk and come out the other end of it and still be as popular says a lot about you. Even the punks seem to like Motorhead, because they have the same kind of same kind of attitude, the whole fuck you attitude which punk had. Motorhead, I would say Hawkwind. Motorhead had that. Hawkwind were a bit chilled out. Massive fan of Robin Trower. Yep, superb guitarist. Not well known. Well known to other guitarists, I think, but not really as well known as he should be. Things like Day of the Eagle, fantastic. His guitar playing is superb. I love his sound as well, not just his style. He's got a really good sound coming off him. Short, sharp and to the point. Yep, caps lock or shouting. Does it keep buffering? Oh, I don't know. Could be me, I suppose. Just checked on a return ticket to Nuke leaving tomorrow is at £1,148. but you'd have to go to the capital to get the flight, and that's over £100 extra in transport and accommodation. A challenge to you and anyone else in the chat who knows the guitarists. Jimmy Page versus Richie Blackmore. Right. One of my ex-bosses in work is related to Richie Blackmore. Two very, very good guitarists. I'd always go for Jimmy Page. I think more for his touch and his acoustic playing as well as his heavy kind of stuff. But Richie Blackmore's a fantastic guitarist. We had loads of good guitarists back then. Jimmy Page, Richie Blackmore, Tony Iommi, all really, really good, expressive guitarists. And buffering on your TV but not on your tablet. All good in Ireland. It could be the weather. Most places in Greenland get fresh fruit every 11 months. So everything's very expensive. I think fresh fruit every 11 months is still more than most Northern Englanders do. We don't trust fruit. I don't trust fruit, I'll be honest with you. I've said this before. You have a look at anything that survives just on fruit, and their eyes are massive, the heart goes at 1,000,000 miles an hour, and they live for about 3 days. Whereas if you eat just vegetables, you're big, heavy, slow, and then you live until you're 6 million. Stevie Ray Vaughan's got to get thrown into the mix. Not a fan of that kind of guitar playing myself, to be honest. In the same way that I don't like Eric Clapton either. I think I might be I've something against Fender Stratocasters. I don't seem to like many Strat players. Adrian Vandenberg or Nuno Bettencourt? Nah. Was Adrian Vandenberg, was he in Whitesnake? Nuno Bettencourt was in Extreme, wasn't it? That's a different matter. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Not a fan of Nuno Bettencourt. Although Rick Beato just did an interview with him a couple of months ago, which I might go back and watch. Now, I prefer guitarists who play with a bit more feel rather than showing off. Many years ago, I used to work for the Dorset Wildlife Trust, and your old boss had tickets for Led Zeppelin Nebworth. He drank a bottle of whiskey before the gig, got there, heard "Hello Nebworth," passed out, and woke up to hear "Thank you, good night." Might have missed the gig, but fair enough, that's the kind of story that sticks with you for life, that one. Steve Vai was in Whitesnake, yes he was. He was also in the Frank Zappa band. I quite like Steve Vai and Joe Satriani, but again I have to be in a technical kind of mood to listen to them. There's only so much showing off I can put up with. Prefer a bit more feel. And while I'm not a huge Pink Floyd fan, I'd rather listen to Dave Gilmour playing solos than Inge Malmsteen or someone like that. A bit more feel. Right, it's only when the ice allows the ships in. Yeah, I'm not surprised. It's mad, isn't it? He was the devil in Crossroads, but he also played the bit that Ralph Macchio was supposed to be playing when he played the classical bit. That was Steve Vai playing that. So he beat himself. Yeah, Steve Vai is all technicality and no passion, whereas Hendrix is all passion and no technicality. Hendrix, he was okay technically, and he was a leap ahead of anyone else, but when you look back at it, I think that's not difficult. What he's doing is not difficult. It's the leap that he took that made it sound off a different planet. Yeah, Steve Vai, there is not a lot of passion in what he does. A lot of it feels like it's done for, I don't know, if you go to see someone display a guitar, that's the kind of thing that they play. Yeah, Saf Raikuda played all the slide stuff. But at the end, when Ralph Macchio starts to play the Eugene's trick bag, it's called, isn't it? The classical dead quick thing. That's actually Steve Vai playing that. Raikuda can't play that quickly, but then again, Steve Vai couldn't play slide like Raikuda. You met Mick Flavin, your mum's mate is his cousin. Small world, man. Led Zepp's last ever gig. Oh, man. That's the kind of thing that is going to be written on his tombstone. Went to Led Zepp's last ever gig. Heard hello. Heard goodbye. Sorry, Steve, I have to put a guitar up in the corner, won't I? Justin Bieber was performing in Herning in the centre of Jutland. And he was staying in an old mansion. He tweeted something like I'm in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, Robin Trower, Rory Gallagher. Technical skills and passion, definitely. Throwing Gary Moore, who was around at that time as well, similar kind of thing. Without being too over the top technically. Still really good at what they do. But just keeping it this side of being daft. Yeah, Eugene's Trick Bag is based on Paganini's Caprice. Yeah, lots of heavy metal guitar is based on Paganini's violin playing. Zappa used to call Vai stunt guitarist, Barnesy. Yep, exactly. Bizarrely though, when Johnny Rotten or John Lydon left the Sex Pistols and started Public Image Limited, he needed a guitarist for one of his, I think it's the second or third album he did. And Steve Vai became the guitarist for Public Image Limited. And it's only when you go back and listen to it, you think, oh shit, yeah, that is Steve Vai, I can hear that a mile off. But it's with Jar Wobble on bass and it's all mad. Steve, no music snobbery here, mate. It's just an appreciation of music. That's why I like listening to anything. I might have said this on Wednesday. You should listen to everything you can. Even if it's something you don't particularly like, you should always be able to pick something out of it that you like. You know what I mean? Stock Aitken and Waterman, I didn't like their stuff, but if you go back and listen to it, there's a lot of turnarounds to the middle eight, turnarounds to the bridge, which I think is really, really classy what they do. Brilliantly written. So that's the kind of stuff I'd pull out of their music. I like the way they do that. But I hate writing by copy and paste the way they did. Horrific. Your friend was at an Aerosmith gig and did a woman behind some bins. Yeah. So the love wasn't in an elevator. Oh, we don't want to talk knitting. Did Johnny Depp play on Fading Out by Oasis? I don't know about that, but yeah. Mad. You can play a bit, can Johnny Depp? No, I don't go to Spencer's gigs. If you start scheduling gigs when the rugby league season is on or when boxing's on, you're not going to find me there at all, I'm afraid. Parents used to live next door to Robert Plant when he lived in the Black Country. You're up, Steve. Have a good one, mate. Robert Plant, of course, is on the board of directors, isn't he, at Wolves? Loves his Wolves. Strange noises out there again. He dated that woman for a year after. That's when you know you're doing something well. Is Elton still on the board at QPR? He was at Watford, wasn't he? He's actually got one of the stands is named the Elton John stand. My dad met him when he was the director, when he was the chairman and owner of Watford. And when my dad met him, he was wearing nothing at all. He'd come into the dressing rooms and he shook hands with him, completely bolloco. And it was only years later that they found out that he was gay. Wouldn't be a big deal anyway, like, but why was he so keen to go into the dressing rooms to meet people? That wasn't QPR, it was Watford. Watford, his team were in the 1984 FA Cup final versus Everton, and we beat them. And there was big signs in the crowd saying, "Sorry, Elton, I guess that's why they call us the Blues." Your mate was Edwin Starr's bin man. Really? Recycling. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Say it again. QPR have had some mad people involved. Tony, what was his name? Indonesian fella. They did a documentary on them and then they spent an absolute fortune and went bust. And the club almost went out of existence. I like QPR. Good away game. Last time I was there, I think we won 3-2 with a last minute free kick by Andy Hinchcliffe. We were sat in a pub called the Moon on the Green, at the bottom of Wood Street. And I was waiting for Emma Forbes to walk past, thinking somehow she'd see me in the pub and we'd get married and have kids and be happy forever after. It didn't happen, obviously. Lighter ran out of fuel. Shabba, Jeff, fair enough. Another of your mates was Mike Tyson's housekeeper. What? Oh well, Jeff's jumped up, so let's go and have a look, eh? Let's have a look at some Tales from the Crypt with Jeff. Couldn't get another jacket to fit. Fuck it, off to Brighton to rumble with some mods. He looks built there, doesn't he? I said it's a red card. Do you want to keep on arguing? I don't think I'll be arguing with him there. Definitely not. My beautiful laundrette. No service washers, no football kits. No coming in for a warm when it's freezing outside. You've got to have standards. Jeff being Jeff. Casper, your mother dated a guy for a few years, long ago. His brother lived next door to Peter and Casper Schmeichel, right? Two very, very good goalkeepers then. Speaking of recycling, they've now put up the price on all plastic bottles, drinks and canned drinks. They have machines in some local shops for you to place. And they have machines in some local shops here to place undamaged bottles or cans, and you get your money back. Right. I've seen that happen somewhere else. Didn't realise it was starting to come to our little couple of islands. Jeff wants the blue card thing. Jeff wants everything red, I think, with the blood of his enemies, because he's a lunatic. I wouldn't want Jeff as a referee. Jeffery, there we go. Never thought of that. Jeffery. Refs are normally bad anyway. Closest you can come is your mate was on the cooking staff at Michael Schumacher's mum's place in Stellenbosch. Oh, very, very nice. Lesbian catfish. Lot going on there. recycling ideas as well as bottles. Yes, it used to be that way back in the 70s, didn't it? Get your threepence back on the bottle. You've got that, have you, Casper? You had that system all the way back until 1922. And you've got the recycling bins at home that are collected, so it's a bit crazy. A is 1 Danish krone, B is 1.5 and C is 3. Where else does that? There's somewhere else I've seen that you just go and push them into a machine and at the end it gives you a load of cash back. Was it Japan or somewhere? I'm trying to think who done it. There was someone who did it on a travel documentary. Who showed you it. Used to clean those machines and maintain them. At your first real job, age 14, back in 2003. Right, there's now some vending style machines outside some shops for empty bottles. It is Japan. It might have been James May on Japan then, on Amazon Prime. I remember seeing someone saying it. I also saw something where there's electric scooters, like proper scooters, not the ones that you stand on, proper like bike scooters. And then you go up to a little place, take your battery out, put it in the machine, and it gives you a fully charged one. And then you keep on doing that. That seems to make perfect sense to me. Rather than be stood around for ages waiting for things to charge, just stick it in the machine, get a new one, disappear, and the machine will charge it for someone else. Yeah, a few other countries are getting in on the act. We are going to have to go down that way because, again, I watched the Grand Tour, Clarkson, Hammond and May last night, and they were in Mauritania. And just, there's plastic bottles absolutely everywhere. There's nothing in Mauritania apart from the Sahara Desert and a couple of mad towns. And then plastic bottles, it's stupid. We're going to choke the entire world with this stuff. Yep, here in Tesco and Super Value in your local town. We should do something. It's good that we're getting rid of this reliance on plastic as much as possible. We can't get rid of all of it, but reducing it is definitely the way to go. Tesco car park, they've got glass bottle banks and clothes banks. The other side is washing machines and dryers. Yeah, I think our Tesco's got Salvation Army clothes banks. They haven't got bottle banks because Southport Tip is literally just over the road. Absolutely crazy. Can't believe how busy the place is. They now have machines so you can have your own big bag with a QR code on. Deposit a very big bag, you get the bag back and the money is automatically handed to your bank account. Very smart. Oh, you watched the Richard Hammond Wild Weather thing. What did you think? I thought it was brilliant. And I loved the explanation of why you don't get hail during the winter. The difference between hail and ice pellets and what have you. That's 2 hours of your life you won't get back. Spoiler alert, Mandy. Every hour is an hour of your life you're not getting back. It doesn't work that way. I think it was, I loved it. I learned quite a lot. You can get a glass bottle of Iron Brew. Iron Brew, the nectar of the gods. And in an iron bottle, glass bottle as well, perfect. Iron Brew, of course. Coca-Cola is the largest selling soft drink in every place in the world apart from one, and that is Scotland. where it's Iron Brew. Coca-Cola tried to buy out Iron Brew and they told them to Foxtrot Oscar, which I'm delighted with. Up the Iron Brew. Great for a hangover, apparently. I don't get them, but very good. Joke, it was okay. Okay, it's only okay. I thought it was brilliant. I love being taught things, even if it's just in a really straightforward, yeah, it's this is all it is. And I thought them making their own hailstones was superb, showing you how strong they are. So be careful when it's hailing. Yeah, can we do any recycling centre there? Put your washer dryers just in the yard for the scrap lads. We do have we have people come around picking stuff up. I think my mum got a couple of things taken away and she's now been added to the scrap man's WhatsApp group. So if you ever need to get rid of something, just stick it on there and whoever's passing can pick it up. But literally, Southport Tip is probably 3/4 of a mile away from the house. So you can easily go in there and off you go. You've never tasted Iron Brew? Ali, you've never lived? It's amazing stuff. Wonderful, wonderful stuff. Made in Scotland from Goddard's. Gotta be tried. Yeah, you can't do that without being accused of fly tipping, even though it's outside your own house. Coca-Cola's at number 1 in 2 other countries, Cuba and North Korea. Cuba drink more Coca-Cola than any other country I've ever seen, but it doesn't come from the United States, so it doesn't count. They get all theirs from Mexico, and it's the old school stuff as well, made with whatever it was, cane sugar rather than whatever syrup, corn syrup that they put in now. It's just mad. It tastes completely different. I don't like Coke anyway, and also Coca-Cola are an evil corporation, so I will not have anything to do with them. Got something there called Jolly Cola, the most popular soft drink here for folks. It's Faxa Condi. It's kind of spirit-esque. Faxa, that's not the one that make the beer, is it? You've had Jolly Cola since just after the war. Of course, Fanta. Do you know the story about Fanta? When the Germans annexed the Sudetenland, Coca-Cola followed them and set up bottling plants, and then they used whatever they could to make a soft drink, and they couldn't get all the stuff sent over from the States, so they used whatever they had in Europe, and that's where Fanta came from. So Fanta is a Nazi drink. True story. There's a recycling centre for electrical household stuff. There should be everywhere. You're addicted to the stuff. That's the problem. It is addictive because of what they put in the stuff. But you'd have to watch the Mark Thomas thing, Dispatches, I think it was, on Channel 4, about how evil. It's called Killer Coke. What an evil corporation they are. From allowing bottling plant workers who were part of a union to be assassinated in the bottling plant, and then allowing militia to go in and clean up after themselves, to taking the water out of the water table from subsistence farmers in India. To an absolutely evil corporation. Having kids of 6 and 7 working on the sugarcane plantations in South America. They just don't care at all. Horrible. You'll have to try it, Ali, you will. Let us know how it goes. And congratulations on levelling up, level 5. The original Fanta recipe. Does it include the blood of the enemy? Because Jeff would like that. You are moving on up. Mountain Dew was developed as an antiseptic and failed. Repurposed as a mouthwash and failed again, so they added sugar and made it fizzy. There you go. If in doubt, just add sugar. Fanta comes from the German for imagination. Yep, Fantasie. Your local tip used to have a shed full of paintings that you could just take. COVID stopped that though. Yeah. 25 quid for 3 items there, so you sort it yourselves unless it's something the scrap lads can weigh in. Buyer also hold the patents for the term heroin, do they? See, now that I did not know. That will be the Bayer Corporation, that are the owners of Bayer Leverkusen, who play in the Bayer Arena. We're doing well. We like seeing people levelling up on here. Let's have a quick look and see how we're getting on. Level 5. Oh, you're not far away then. You're not far away from the first page. Getting there. Getting there. Great stuff. It was handy if you just needed a little bit of paint. Or, I suppose, something to try. If you were sick of Magnolia, just go and try one and see what it looks like actually on the walls. And if it was shite, go and take it back. Yeah, if you need a new washing machine or cooker, some places will take your old one away if you get it delivered. I got a new fridge delivered last month from AO, and the same thing, you had to pay for it, but they brought it out the next day and then took the old one away with them and recycled it. If, on the other hand, literally my other hand was working, probably would have stuck it in the back of a van and just took it round to the tip. Would have cost nothing. But no way on earth I could do that, and no way my dad could do it either. Bayer also did product testing on the Auschwitz victims back in the day. Horrible, aren't they? Oh, just horrible, horrible people. Coca-Cola also advertised in the Nazi Youth Handbook, by the way. All this is on that documentary. Definitely a good idea. We need to bring that back. Any old offcuts of paint, what would you call offcuts of paint? Any little bit left, leave it there. Let people pick it up. Could you add it all together? Would it make black? What does all the colours together make? Should be white, shouldn't it? In theory. All the colours together make white in a rainbow or a prism, so would all the colours together make white? Do we need to try this? Is there already a YouTube video people trying this? If not, why not? You'd think all the colours would make something dark, wouldn't you? But it wouldn't. Didn't win the lottery this week, so I'm not going to be painting my walls anyway. Don't worry about that. I'd love to though. I think a nice deep blue would look good in the background. There you've got guys riding around on a horse and cart picking stuff up to recycle. Rag and bone men. We used to have them when I was younger. Proper steptoe and son. That was as late as the late 80s, I think. Can't remember them in the 90s, but they were definitely there in the 80s. You painted an outside wall, got a couple of tins of white and mixed a bit of green poster paint and PVA and it worked a treat. Good thinking. Good thinking. Yeah, it's that theory only works with light, not with actual colours. It will turn brown like it does with lipstick and candle wax. What a shame. Just shows you how important light is then, and how weird it is. It can bend, which is why when the sun goes down and it goes below the horizon, that's sunset, but you've still got dusk after it, where we get the blue hour, because it bends round and it lights up. The colours of the sky are absolutely amazing at times. Even last night, when it was raining and cloudy, the blue hour, the colour, oh man, it was so pretty. Took some more nice pictures tonight as well. I like doing that though, just driving down to the beach, parking up, seeing what's going on around. And there's something very, very, I was going to say uniquely England, probably Ireland would be the same as well. British Isles and Ireland, of an ice cream van when the rain is battering down. Just, it looks so evocative. I said it in me, I did a picture on Instagram yesterday. And I said, rain at the seaside is very tragi-romantic, which I think is, it's a good term for it. There's a lot of romanticism about the coast and seaside towns, but when it rains, it's miserable. But there's something comforting in that misery for me. I like it. Plus, I've lived here for donkey's years, so obviously. Definitely got to be better for the environment. The more we reuse, the better. Which is why I think, again, we're talking about the electronic vehicles, EVs. You would have to have one of them and drive it for about 20 years before it's evened out its CO2. Whereas I've got a car that's now 19 years old. A diesel car, 19 years old. If I keep using this and constantly use it for thousands and thousands of miles, it's still coming out with less CO2 than an electric vehicle is until it's been driving for 20 odd years. It's mad. Keep old cars going. Keep old washing machines going if you can. Make, do and mend as much as possible. It's much better for the environment. Look on a colour wheel, there is no brown. No, there isn't. Also good if you've got half a tin of paint left over and you don't want to store it. Remember, if you have got paint, store it lid side down. So that when you do want to use it, you just undo it and there isn't a skin over the top, it's at the bottom. Yeah, the ice cream van constantly coming round when it's lashing round with rain. Kids will still go out. Or you hear them at late evening in the summer. You do. I think ours come round all year round. It's mad. There are still people there. I'm convinced it's a fella selling drugs, but there you go. But they're always constantly out and about. But the ones who park up by the beach, I don't know if it's just ice cream that they do or if you do coffees and what have you. But just there's something about this lovely pink, a pink ice cream van, and then rain bouncing off it and people queuing up looking miserable. You're supposed to look happy when you're queuing up for an ice cream, not looking miserable. But fantastic. Literally saw the ice cream van yesterday. Yep. They are great. You got Magnums in the freezer. Right, well you're British, so that would mean the ice creams, wouldn't it? Of course, if you're an American saying you've got Magnums in the freezer, we'd have to start worrying about who you've popped. The environmental damage that happens in the mining for cobalt in EV batteries causes more damage than any car could do. Absolutely. There's got to be something changes. We can't carry on with oil, petrol, diesel, gasoline, whatever. There's going to be a tipping point beyond which there's no coming back from it. But it doesn't have to be EVs, it can be something else. Hydrogen cars that use very little petrol but still use some of it. Anything, not just electric ones, because the electric is still made by burning coal and things like that, so it's not good. They do slushies as well as ice cream, and I think you get cans of Coke. Yeah, you can. Do like a slushie. The ICI plant near your school in the 70s just used to pump dye into the river with bright colours every other day. Yes, similar kind of thing would happen at the ICI factory in Widnes or Runcorn. Widnes and Runcorn were known as the smell in South Liverpool because that's how bad it was. And the River Mersey would be disgusting colours depending on what time of the day it was. Now it's been cleaned up quite a lot until Northwest Water have been allowed to start pumping shite back into it. You would definitely run to get ice cream and slushies. It doesn't matter what time of the year it is, everyone would like an ice cream and a slushie. Defo. You saw some kids in Senegal made a fuel using ammonia. Has a higher thermal efficiency than hydrocarbons. Yes. I've seen a YouTube clip about ammonia cars. I think it might have been Toyota were talking about it. Said it's absolutely, hydrogen or ammonia could be the next wave of cars. Much better than electric. Yeah, multicoloured kids and dogs running around. Anybody who lived anywhere near any water in the UK during the 70s and 80s will have seen horrible things getting pushed out into that water. That's where rainbow trout come from. Yeah, the Medlock makes its way down to the Mersey. It certainly does. The Medlock is also the name of a pub that I used to drink in before Everton games, which we no longer drink in, unfortunately, and also because I don't drink anymore. But yeah, the Medlock, very famous. The Mersey used to be one of the most polluted, fuck's sake, polluted rivers in the world at one point, and then it's become very, very clean to the point where we were getting dolphins or porpoises and octopus. What else do we get? Jellyfish. And jellyfish don't seem to go anywhere that's dirty. It always has to be clean for them. So we brought it back from an ecological nightmare to being very clean. And then all of a sudden they're allowing the water companies to run riot yet again. It's horrible. My mate used to go fishing all the time in the Mersey. One day he caught this fish, and when he opened it and gutted it at home, there was a hypodermic syringe in its stomach. He thought it was a drug addict. True story. Fucking drug addict. I can hear it now, I can hear you. Woo, get off your shit. 70s. The 70s was the 70s. That's the reason why everything was brown and beige, because it was covered in shit. I'm convinced. Although growing up in the 70s, it was also great because at the age of 4 I could listen to punk music, which I liked. Due to the jellyfish, we've got leatherback sea turtles arriving. They follow the jellyfish, do they? All part of this ecosystem. If you get one, you'll get the other. You like the smell of petrol when the car's been filled up at the garage. That is a very, very popular thing. I love the smell of it as well. When you were younger, you'd be going off with your dad and at the garage, pull down the window and inhale the fumes. Yes. To this day, I still love the smell of, especially diesel, not just petrol, diesel. I'm lucky I've got a diesel car. It reminds me of getting off the boat in Hull when we came back from the Netherlands for like Christmas and what have you. It'd be freezing cold of a morning, the smell of diesel, and then getting off the boat and the radio crackling into life and playing Christmas songs in English. Like, oh, we're almost home. Like another 2.5 hours until we got back, but we're almost home. It's absolutely amazing. Yeah, smells are very evocative. Barnsley, they did not give a shit back then. They didn't. They don't now. But it was awful back in the 70s, wasn't it? If you can get rid of it, you get rid of it. What happens if there's the fish die? Well, the fish die after fish die, don't they? Just that was it. You sometimes get a lot of jellyfish there. When you get a lot of jellyfish, you get a lot of jellyfish. It's never normally just 2 or 3, is it? There's normally thousands of the bastards. There's a brilliant picture somewhere of jellyfish in the docks, the Albert Dock in Liverpool. Let's see if I can find it. Jellyfish Albert Dock. There's YouTube videos of it. YouTube. Well, it's not the greatest picture, but if you have a look on there, you can just see how many little dots there are. Each one of them is a jellyfish. That's only a very small picture. I mean, literally everywhere you looked, there was just thousands, hundreds of thousands of jellyfish. Mad. Some species of sea turtles eat jellyfish, so we need to save the turtles. We do. Thankfully, there's a lot of people over in the Caribbean who used to eat leatherback turtles and what have you. They're now getting onto the fact that it's bad to do that. It's bad. Bad thing, right? Bad thing to eat animals that are dying out. So they are protecting them, and they're making more money through having ecotourism than they ever did through eating them or selling them. It's mad. Your favourite outdoor smell is your climbing rose. Is that a flower? Or have you got a stalker outside? Saf, when you were growing up, you had a spot close to the beach where guys would spin the tyres and behave like lunatics in cars. Whenever you smell burnt rubber, it reminds you of those days. It will do. Smells really are evocative. It's like, I think smells are more evocative than anything else. Songs can be, sounds can be, but smells, immediately, you're there, aren't you? You don't mind them, but the red ones sting like crazy. Jellyfish are a bit weird. They look almost alien, don't they? Like octopus look alien as well, to be honest. Oh, shit.
But kippers vindaloo. It can't be good for you.
Bit of Kipper's Corner. What do we reckon? Is Jeff going to act the maggot?
Kippers kicks ass.
Oh, I think you got away with it. Tooth Fairy gifts children $100 bills and designer jewellery. Here we go. Not only has the amount of money children receive for losing a tooth increased, some parents are also leaving a gift under the pillow. So kids have been receiving $100 bills and designer jewelleries under the pillows. The US national average for a Tooth Fairy gift has risen from $2 in 2001 to more than $6 in 2023. Is that not just inflation? Some parents have revealed to the Wall Street Journal that they give even more extravagant gifts to the children. Well, if it's the Wall Street Journal, they'll only be speaking to rich people anyway. Children receive cash, a video game, sometimes an iPhone, which he puts down to the parents competing with each other. Judea Neig, who is from the UK, gave her daughter 60 quid, a letter, a silver fairy necklace and a Louis Vuitton bracelet. Bellend. Baby gap, see? Gap in the teeth. Spoiled little bastards. Yes, you're about 100% right, Kip.
Kippers kicks ass.
Well, I cried that one in, didn't I? Where are we? Yeah, jellyfish in the Thames as well. Well, loads in the Thames, haven't you? Loads of the mad things in Wales and thing. I used to wear 4711. What's 4711? Just the sight of the bottle reminds me of her. My granddad used to wear Old Spice. Same thing, the smell of that just reminds me of him. And Barbara-ism. I've got Barbara-ism all-in-one shampoo, conditioner and ball scrubber. And just, it reminds me, I think my nan had Barbara-ism bath salts or something back in the 70s and 80s. The smell of it just reminds me of the house. It's crazy. The younger ones get €2 there. People need to stop pushing it, you know what I mean? Well, you got this, I'll get that. No, stop it. Load of shite. Last time you saw a bottle was the Museum House on Albert Dock. Give them 50p and tell them they'll lose some more if they complain. That's the problem. They go, yeah, go on, hit me. You've knocked 5 out, that's another £2.50. Dad used to wear blue Stratos and Brute. I think my dad had blue Stratos until he signed for Middlesbrough. And Graham Souness was the sort of the main guy at Borough at that point. Very, very suave, sophisticated. He looked through his bag and went, what's this? It's my aftershave. He just picked it up and threw it in the bin. So you're coming with me. Give him a bottle of Givenchy Gentleman, which he still uses to this day. Not the same bottle, you know. He's not that tight. Still uses the same scent. And got some of the younger lads to take him out clothes shopping. So you're playing for the First Division club now, not fucking Wrexham. So you have to force him to throw his stuff out. Depending on the age, the money increases. Also different. Yeah. It just needs to stop all this trying to outdo each other. The same thing with fucking what you call it, gender reveals. Do you really need to know what gender it is? And if you do you need to act like a twat in showing people what it is? People getting fucking blown up because they're trying to work out if it's pink or bastard blue. Stupid. Stop trying to outdo each other. Crocodile was meant to have been staying in the River Avon 2014. Crocodiles could survive in the British waters. It's mad, isn't it? I suppose animals are more sturdy than we think, but I don't know. The scientists say that they can't. Could they? You know, it's not just the type of water, is it? It's the weather. Is it warm enough for them? Crocodiles and alligators are cold-blooded, aren't they? Don't they have to heat up of a morning before they start getting going? So they couldn't live here during the winter. There just wouldn't be enough snow to warm them up to die. Cream eggs have shrunk in size. I haven't had a cream egg in absolutely ages. How do you eat yours? Nibble, bite the top and then the inside, yeah. Like it's some kind of film. Your dad always had Brill cream in his hair. Good fella. I watch loads of old films on Talking Pictures TV, and in loads of the old British films they're all wearing Brill cream and it looks fantastic. Why don't we have that anymore? Why is that not a thing anymore? Should be. You'd look different now, wouldn't you? You'd look, I mean, proper. Everyone was doing it back in the day and then people stopped doing it. If people started doing it again, it'd take off. I think it'd look superb. Brill cream hair, nice sharp suits. We need to go back to looking smart. He says looking like he's just been discovered in the middle of nowhere with me Aeroflot t-shirt on. Crocodiles, when it gets cold, go into a hibernation type of state. They do. Nostrils just above the water, which is why I think, what was I watching the other day? It was in a documentary again, funnily enough. It was otters. I think it might have been otters that were just banging into them, not really bothered because they weren't warm enough to be any threat. They couldn't move anywhere. They never even had enough energy to snap at them. So they were just pissing them off all day long. Yes, the turtle was found in a Cumbrian lake last month. We had that, didn't we? We had that on here. Fluffy, whatever it was, turtle, the vile, looked like shit turtle. Yeah, at least it was a small one. It wasn't that small, to be honest. It was fairly big. The people that were carrying it had to be very, very, very careful. I think they were wearing 3 pairs of gloves and all kinds of other stuff because it could have took a finger off. It's a fairly hefty looking thing. You still got a tub of Brill cream in the bathroom cabinet. Ah, that's nice. So you should do. Should always keep one of them nearby. Maintain some connection there. A skunk was also found somewhere in the UK. Wouldn't be Newcastle, would it? Just someone wearing black and white. I'm not a fucking skunk, man. I've just been out swimming in the Mersey. Man, he's got long nails, very handy for a cream egg. Is this evolution in progress? We've evolved to have long nails to eat Cadbury's cream eggs. Like, what's that animal? There is an animal with a massive long nail, isn't there? Well, it's not actually a nail, it's part of its hand, but it taps until it finds like a witchetty grub or something. And this one big long finger goes in, and out the bastard thing comes. I'll need to find out what that is. Google it. Go ahead, Kirsty, Google it. Juggle it. You've got raccoon dogs, yeah? You've mentioned that before, haven't you? They look crazy looking things, but they are cool, and cool AF, as the kids say. I don't think we've got any really crazy animals over here, have we? I mean, genuinely mad animals. I don't think there's any at all. Apart from, yeah, Barnsley, people dumping exotic pets. That's about it, really, isn't it? Raccoon dogs. Let's have a look. Should we get an image of it? There you go, Ali. A raccoon dog. It's a dog that looks like a raccoon. Mad thing, fam. Yeah, it lives in Madagascar. You can't remember what it's called, but it has got one big long finger, hasn't it? Taps until it hears like a hollow. Right, that's where that is, so I'll dip my hand in and pull the bastard out. We have Boris Johnson. We do. Vile. It's the II. If it was from Newcastle, it'd be the YI, obviously, wouldn't it? Why haven't you levelled up yet, Mandy? Because you are so far ahead of everyone else. You are at a massive level that, you know, difficult, man, innit? Difficult. Forest of Dean area. But there's some real mad shit in the Forest of Dean, isn't there? Isn't that where EMF used to come from? The band who sang Unbelievable. They were always out having raves in the middle of the forest and taking all kinds of dodgy things they shouldn't have been taking. Looks like a badger a bit. It does actually, doesn't it? Badger, have you seen the size of a badger? I mean, I always thought a badger was small, like a mole or something, until I see him on close up. Fucking huge. Proper solid as well, and angry looking things. Always look like they'd just woken up. You probably need a gazillion points for the next one. Keep chatting then. That's the only way to do it. Oh, and by the way, for the Jeff Q&A, if anyone's got questions they like Jeff to answer, can you put them in the comments under the video, not the chat, because it's an absolute nightmare trying to go back and find things in the chat. It's almost impossible. I can understand why the lads try and get people to do the music requests in the comments after the video's landed rather than in the chat live, because it's an absolute ball ache. But I want to do a Jeff Q&A if possible. I might even see if we can get Olga involved in the stream as well. Never know. Watch this space. We shall see. A raccoon dog is as big as, if not bigger than your badgers over there. Yeah, big things. Waiting for my next knitted potato shipment. And I haven't got my first one yet. I need to go and pick it up, don't I? I have to head to North Wales with me transit van. Transit van full of knitted potatoes. Raccoon and badger like the same family. That's a good question, that. Do they have a common ancestor, if nothing else? They might be. In the same way that we and apes have a common ancestor. So whenever anyone goes on about, well, why are there still apes? Well, because them and us forked from... We didn't fork, you know what I mean? We had a common ancestor and we branched off into different ways. That's why we still got two of them. Yeah, I ain't picked up the first one yet. I'm practicing now. I'm out in the car a bit more, so I might be able to swing by. You can lob them at me. See if you can lob them into the car. I'll have the windows open. See if you can lob them, and then I'll record it and stick it on Yow Chow and make a fortune out of it. I will need a lorry for the potatoes. It's going to be a lot. Yeah, the transit van was open. The coppers won't see anything in the back. Transit vans were, I think it was 95% of all bank robberies during the 70s and 80s, wasn't it? The getaway car was a transit van. I would love an old-fashioned Mark I transit van. Fantastic. They're in a box. Would a box fit in me boot? You've got no idea how big my boot is. I've got no idea how big your box is. I'm sure they fit in my car. It's not a small car, is it? I love my car. Oh, it's just there. I can see it right there in front of me. I need to take it and get it washed. I meant to do it over the weekend, but I never got round to it, and it is minty, absolutely minty. To clean it, I would need a bucket and spade right now. Filthy, absolutely filthy. The raccoon dog is closest related to foxes, wolves and zogs. Foxes, wolves and zogs. Clues in the name, isn't it, the dog? So it must definitely have a common ancestor. They are mad looking things though. We must be the only island as well that hasn't got its own weird animals because we're so close to mainland Europe. Everywhere else that's like an island miles away from everywhere has got its own stuff. Ninja Potato is right, Kirsty. Yet the driver of the Great Train robbery used to prefer using a Jag Mark II 3.8 because the 4.2 made the cross-ply tyres slide too much, yes. The Jag Mark II used to get used quite a lot in robberies as well, as did, what's the name of the Rover, the big, massive, heavy Rover as well. Wheeler Dealers did a version of it. I can't remember off the top of my head, but yeah. Jag Mark IIs, I love one of them. I want a classic guitar. Classic car. Fuck's sake. What's wrong with me? I want a classic car. I like a classic guitar as well. Smaller than a coffin. It'll fit on the back seat, is right. You have got me, yes. Weird. We are the weird creatures of this island. Me being one of them. Don't need anything weirder than us, do you, really? We're weird enough as it is. Speaking of weird creatures, Horace's haikus, I still haven't got round to doing something for him. A little bit of an intro, he needs one. Even if it's just an Alan Partridge. Horace's haikus, doing that. Oh, glorious woods, the daffodils are blooming. May spring come quickly. What? That was almost a genuine, normal haiku, that one, wasn't it? That was almost Japanistic. Japantastic. The badger's family tree. 8 species of the family are found in Denmark. leek, bramble, ferret, house martin, forest martin, badger and otter. I've seen the forest martins, they're lovely looking things, but angry. Yeah, at one point the Sierra RS Cosworth 500 was the most stolen car in the UK. It was also really cheap because they couldn't give them away and you couldn't get them insured. My dad had the XR4i, which is not as quick as the Cosworth, but it still got stolen quite a lot because it was still a very, very fast car, unfortunately. I would love an RS Cosworth. Gorgeous things. I have completely frozen on your TV. Cool. Have I frozen? Let it go. All good in Ireland, not frozen in Denmark. It's just North Wales. Horace getting back to his roots. He is. Because we killed all the creatures. Yeah, we did. We killed all kinds of stuff. Probably would have had really nice, mad creatures, and then we just bin them all off. Yes, that was worth the boo, wasn't it? Well worth the boo. Your mate had one you had to get rid of because the insurance was massive. Yeah, they couldn't insure him at one point, could they? Because it was like, there's no point in insuring your car in case it gets stolen. It will get stolen. There was people getting followed. If they had a Cosworth, they were getting followed home by people who would then just try and nick it in front of them. Mad. They are lovely cars. One of our family friends has got two of them, RS 500s. And he used to park them behind his Lotus Carlton because that was more expensive than the RS 500s. All three cars now is probably worth about, I don't know, best part of $250,000 between the three of them. It's mad, absolutely mad. I'm not greedy though. An XR4i would do me, just 20 grand. If anyone who's watching this has got loads of money and fancies buying me one, just, slide in me DMs. Not that I can drive it at the moment, because I can only drive an automatic. Because of me bad hand. But I'll get there. Golf Mark 1s, Polos and Toyota Hilux are the most stolen cars there. I can imagine you get loads of Fords and the Golf Mark 1s, yeah. Imagine them getting stolen and then sent over to the UK because obviously the right-hand drive, dry weather, so there won't be much rust. Not always, not everywhere obviously, but better than we've got anyway. You now have wild bison on the middle of the island of Bornholm. They are what the Americans wrongly call buffalo. Ali, you can just drive people off the wall. That's your driving skills. You are very skillful at it. Well done. We need more people like that. Keeps you on your edge, on your toes. Plenty of Golf Mark 1s because they were built up until 2000. What? They are becoming very, very popular and sought after, as are Ford Escort Mark 1s. You need to charge your phone, Kirsty. Get on it. I didn't freeze on your tablet, just your TV. Is there a Sam's Hung? Don't know why that is, because it's the same stream, isn't it? In fairness, you like to walk. I'm not surprised. I think if I lived in Ireland, I'd like to walk as well. Everywhere I've seen it looks absolutely fantastic. Looks very walkable. I watched the Banshees of Inisherin with Colin Farrell and Brendan Gleeson, and just it should have been an advert for Ireland. Don't know exactly whereabouts it was filmed. It was an island off Ireland, wasn't it? Somewhere. Just looked absolutely stunning. We're buying up the Mark 1s from you, yeah. we tend to buy a lot of cars, I think, from South Africa. Like I say, if the loads of stuff is imported from Japan, but lots of the Japanese stuff when it comes in is just rusting to bits. Whereas if you buy stuff from South Africa and Australia, still right-hand drive, if you get some of the old classics, they're worth a fortune over here. When you took your driver's license, the most common car in Denmark was a Volkswagen Golf. Not surprised, they're only made next door, aren't they? The Golf is the only car you ever need, to be honest. I think everybody in the world could get away with driving a Golf, nothing else. Perfect. Germany's buying them up as well, right? Kirsty's on charge, good to hear it. The town you live in, everything is in walking distance, so it's grand, so it is. That's Northern Ireland. Sorry. It is grand. Good being able to walk everywhere. I used to be able to walk everywhere in this town as well. Now I just get up, look outside, I'm getting in the car. Sod that. Because obviously it's a big town I live in. You never watched it? Oh, it's fantastic. I loved it. It's funny and sort of a bit weird at times, but very enjoyable. And Ireland looks great. Plus Colin Farrell's great. Brendan Gleeson's superb. And the young lad, Barry Keane, is it? Absolutely amazing. Your first car was a Polo from 1990. My second car was a Polo from 1996. I loved that, but it tried to kill me. My first car was a 1978 Ford Capri. All right-hand drive BMW 3 Series and Merc C-Classes and Golfs are built in South Africa. Correct, I have a C-Class Mercedes and it says it was built in South Africa. So that is peer-reviewed. And I absolutely love it. Love it. Do you keep it in your pocket so you don't lose it, Kirsty? Like us fellas do. Barry Keane, that's it, isn't it? What an absolutely fantastic actor. Superb in that as well. It's mad how he can look as vulnerable as he did in that film, and then also look as sort of superhero-ish as he does in other things since. Just an absolutely superb actor. Seems a grand lad as well. 3 doors and 4 gears. What more do you need, Casper? Well, a steering wheel for a start. You also scored higher in the quality audits than the Germans. Good to hear. Same way that Sunderland in the UK was at the highest quality for Toyota. Higher than I think the Japanese. And I had a Nissan Primera, which was made in Sunderland, and it was absolutely bulletproof. Something went wrong towards the end where it would have cost more, but I think it might have been bodywork more than anything else. Rust again. Would have cost more to fix it than it was worth, so it was just bin it and I'll buy another one. Nissan, Nissan is Sunderland. Toyota was that Swindon? I had me Toyota Aventus, I'm sure that was Swindon. Nissan, Sunderland, yeah. Fantastic stuff. Nothing wrong with a South African Mercedes C-Class. It's beautiful, man, it's beautiful. In obsidian black as well, in case anyone's interested. With a private plate on it, because I'm an absolute twat, obviously. Your uncle used to work for Volvo in their aeroplane engine department. They have this wall that opens up into the cliff. He said it was something like a bat cave. Fantastic. It was sitting in a bag of wires for the things that need them. The Lamborghini Miura has its doors made in Cape Town. Mercedes SLR had its bonnet made there as well. I would love an SLR. Power banks. We all need power banks. You have just reminded me I need to charge my power banks. I have quite a few of them. Obviously, being a light fiend. That doesn't look too bad, that, you know. I wish that looked better on screen than it does. It looks proper blue and gold in the background to my eye. So who's next? Who have we got next for the colours in the background? Barnesy, you still in? I have to do red and white if that's the case. For United. Yeah, how's your room coming along? And do not misplace the bag. Kirsty, Mandy wants to know if you sorted your drawers out. Feyenoord? No, not Feyenoord. Unless Harderwijk is in, then it's Feyenoord. Red and white will be FC Twente or Middlesbrough or Wrexham. Or United for Barnsley. But, I'll just look at it and think, that's FC Twente. And I'll get away with that. Oh, my tea's cold. Green, white and a red dragon in the middle. Fabulous. Absolutely fabulous. Did you ever watch Love It, Honour and Obey? Fantastic film. It's a comedy, sort of gangster film. Rhys Ifans is in it. He runs off after blowing someone's car up shouting, "Enter the fucking dragon!" Love it. I might have to get that, and just trigger it on here because I love it. What a great film. So funny. Yes, Harderwijk is a Feyenoord supporter. Whereas I'm not. I am a Tukker. Ancient Tukker, Altijden Tukker. You haven't sorted your drawers out because you would in case what you'll find. Don't want clowns stealing anything, do we? Jeff, piss off with the shabba shouts. You're not rave on. Although I reckon he could have a rave on mullet. Definitely. Jeff would rock a rave on mullet. I might have to look what Jeff would look like with a mullet. What do we reckon? I think he'd look fantastic. He'd rock a mullet. Although rock a mullet does sound like an Irish fishing village, doesn't it? You have discovered another drawer of mystery that you didn't even know about. That's why it's a drawer of mystery. Is there a lion and a witch in there? Just be careful. Fucking hell, I was going to ask what day it is. It's Sunday, isn't it? Stupid boy. Red Dwarf later. Yay. I miss Red Dwarf. I like MASH during the week, but I used to like me Red Dwarf. Got to go. Saf, nobody's pain meds kicking in. Let's hope they kick in very, very quickly. Good to see you, as always. Sort out your streams, get them scheduled, and I will start pushing them on here as much as possible. Need to start getting you some subs and views, definitely. It's Monday there. It is actually, isn't it? Forgot about that. It is. Monday in Africa. Sounds like a novel, doesn't it? The Lion and the Witch are in the wardrobe. Shit. I'll have to check behind me later. Stay safe and be good. Advice that we could all live by, to be honest. Goedenavond, wel te rusten. Tot morgen. Etc, etc. And you come back with ciao ciao, obviously. Oh. Well, we've been over 2 hours and my still is starting to play up now, so I'll just start making tracks. I think I need to get in the front room and get my feet up. Start preparing for Red Dwarf, 1 o'clock in the pissing morning. Why not just stick it on at midnight like you used to? Like it was when I was in the hospital. Gobshites. Yeah, it's not a drawer at your front door. When you open it, it's just full of knitted potatoes. What There's no mystery involved, is there? It's just full of potatoes. I will come and pick that up at some point, though. Start sending them out to people. Yeah. I think it's about time, isn't it? Don't you think? Oh, yeah. Definitely starting to feel it now. I mean, tired. Don't worry. Just tired. So, thank you very much. I will try and get Wednesdays scheduled as quick as possible. And I will also try and charge things up and make sure they're ready for Wednesday, rather than piss-balling about like I have done tonight. It has been fun. Thank you very much. Skur to Casper, yeah. Yekida to Mandy. Slanjivar, Ali. In the real island. Jackie's not here to have a go at me for saying that. Yeah, see you later. Thanks for coming as always, Ali. Always appreciate it. Thank you very much. Barnsley, cheers, mate. I'll do red and white as well for the next one. So if you're in, you can call it United. I can't do black lights, obviously. But if Hadidika's in, it can be Feyenoord for it'll be red and white for whoever wants red and white. So until next time.
That's all we've got time for this evening, so it's good night from me.
And it's good night from him. Good night. Good night.
And that's that.